for this particular sessions. Even though if you are taking malware analysis or Splunk or so, basically I will be your trainer for that particular things as well. When I started as a web application penetration tester. Later on, I moved into Blue Team. Okay, basically, I have worked on Splunk. I have worked on multiple projects on malware analysis. I have also done threat hunting for my multiple clients. Currently, I am PCI auditor. Okay, so you guys might have heard of payment card industry. I will be doing the audits, or I will be Omar, can you please mute yourself for some time? Having some queries or anything. We will be having a Q&A session, right? Basically, you can go forward and you can ask me at that point of time. Okay, because of there is some background noise, so that's why I'm requesting you to mute. Okay. Yep. So yeah, so basically, when I started as a penetration tester. Later on, I moved into Blue Teams, and currently I am PCI auditor. Basically, I will be majorly focusing on those specific organizations who are dealing with payment cards or basically our credit card and debit cards, and I will be validating whether there is any kind of payment frauds are happening or not. When it comes to certifications, I am PCI QSA ISO lead auditor, ISO lead implementer, CHFI and CEH. Right now, basically that was it from my side. Now let us discuss more about the threat hunting part, because that is what basically we have joined for, right? So when it comes to threat hunting, firstly, what exactly is threat hunting? Why exactly organizations need threat hunting as a part of their particular process or as a part of their security team? Okay, so basically, first thing is, what exactly is threat hunting? Okay, whenever there is any kind of threats which can attack or which can go forward and exploit, or basically which can take an organization into some kind of breaches. Okay, identifying those threats prior to affect, or basically prior to that particular threats affecting their organization. Okay, that particular part of identifying the threats and building that defense system before the threat is already infected is called threat hunting. Okay, if we say in simple words, normally understanding what all are our clients processes or what all are our clients businesses, based on that understanding what all are the threats which are available as a part of their particular, which can affect their organization, and building a defense system before that particular threat has been attacked to their organization. Okay, that particular full process is called threat hunting. Second thing is, why exactly threat hunting is required in the first place itself, right? Because nowadays, if we see, like, there are many of the attacks which have been happened. Okay, if you see after the pandemic, like, there are almost three major breaches which has happened, right? First one was cognizant breach. Second one was the specific sonar burst, or basically sunburst, right? Those, that particular breach. And after that, there is again one of the ransomware breach, right? So basically there are multiple breaches which are happening after the pandemic, and it has been increased very much after this particular situation which has been happened. Right now, as a threat hunter, if there is one of the threat hunter, or basically if there is one person who can identify the threats beforehand itself, that these are the things which can happen to their organization, and if he builds those specific defense mechanism at any point of time. Okay, basically whether that implementation can be from firewall level, or from the configuration level, or from the application level, if he builds that particular defense mechanism before that attack has been happened, at that point of time, even though if attacker is trying to get into that particular system, there will be an obstacle for that particular attacker, right? So basically that is what our main objective will be whenever we are going forward, and whenever we will be working as a threat hunter. Our main day-to-day work will be to identify the threats, whether it will be from outside or inside. Okay, basically we will be identifying the threats, and we will be asking other internal teams to go forward and build those specific systems, to implement those specific things, so that they can later point of time later, if any kind of activity or any kind of breaches are about to happen, normally we will be able to know, or we will be able to resist at the first place. Okay, so the same thing we are going to learn during our sessions as well. So basically whenever we will be starting up with our threat hunting, we will be starting up with the fundamentals. Normally we will be taking all the things from scratch to advanced level. Okay, basically in the first module we'll be learning what exactly is threat hunting, how exactly what all are the phases of threat hunting, what all are the challenges which we'll be facing, what all are the tools which we are going to use. All of those specific things we'll be clearing out, all the fundamentals, because that is the same thing which we'll be using at later point of time. If you are grasping the fundamentals at first place, definitely it will be very much helpful, or which will be very much easy for you to complete those practicals at later point of time. Next thing will be, we will be understanding the methodologies. Okay, there are multiple methodologies. First one is ground gel analysis. Second one is Tara. There is assumption of breach. There are loads and loads of methodologies from which we can understand or identify any particular threat. Basically, the major thing of all of these methodologies will be covering up based on the critical assets, right? So basically, if there is any of that particular system, server, or basically any of the person who is directly affecting the organization, we can consider that particular thing as a asset, right? If he is directly affecting that particular business, definitely it will be considered as a critical asset. So if we take one example where there is one of the application which has been hosted, okay, whether that will be a web application, web server, right? So at that point of time, that server where application is hosted, that web application is deriving the business to that particular company. So that particular server is considered as a critical asset. Likewise, there will be multiple methodologies from which we will be able to understand that basically what all are the critical assets, what all we will be able to understand as a specific type of critical data for that particular organization. Based on that, we will be understanding what all are the threats which can be available for that particular assets, okay, which can directly impact their organization. And based on that, we will be able to go forward and market, or basically we'll be able to get the next particular steps, that how exactly we can identify, how exactly we can remediate those specific things as well. Okay, so basically in the first two modules we are going to learn and understand what all are the methodologies, what all are the specific phases of our threat hunting, and we will be able to go forward and complete the same. Now once we have covered up, or once we are having all the specific knowledge about the fundamentals, then we will be starting up with our main threat hunting process. Majorly, when it comes to threat hunting process, there will be two main phases which will be covering up at any point of time in any project. First one will be, we will be understanding what exactly is threat which is within that organization. Okay, and second one will be what exactly are the threats which can be covered up as a output, like outside from that organization. Okay, so basically whenever, for example, if I'm having one of my client and we are doing the threat hunting for that particular organization, okay, we can understand that basically their main business has been focused on something like e-commerce, right? For example, if their main business has been focused on something like e-commerce or something like that, so at that point of time, if there are similar type of organizations who has been recently breached, definitely that can be a threat for that particular organization also. Basically we can go forward and we can get the knowledge for those specific indicators, okay, which are available from other breaches. We can go forward and we can implement the same thing in our client's organization as well, right? So that is overall what we will be able to check when it comes to finding out the threats or hunting the threats outside the organization. Second thing will be understanding or getting the threats which will be within that organization. So at that point of time, we will go forward and we will be checking the network, system, servers, all of those specific things. Okay, so at that point of time, the first phase, which we can call it as a threat intelligence, okay, overall it will be understanding or getting the threats which are outside the organization. Normally there are multiple indicators which we'll be collecting. We will be filtering out those indicators, and later point of time we will, yeah, any doubts?
Okay, so the threat intelligence
Yes.
is so the perfect example of threat intelligence will be X Force, right? If I'm correct.
Correct. Correct. Yes, exactly. Okay, basically we will be having those specific process as well. So
So
basically
just one
whenever
question
we will,
here. Just one question.
yes,
So we
yes,
will
please.
be looking at the practical aspect also, right? Or only the
Yeah,
theoretical
yeah.
part of from the understanding
No,
perspective.
no.
It will be also practical oriented, correct?
Everything will be practical based. There will not be any of the topic except this first two fundamentals part, right? Except that nothing will be theoretical. Everything will be practical itself.
So what is
Okay.
the minimum infrastructure that is there anything that we require on our side? Because other than other than our laptop and internet connection, of course, is there any
Right.
specific thing that we need as such?
Yes, so basically there we will be creating a lab environment in our system. Something like this one is there, right? Basically we will be coming to this particular point, but basically we will be creating a lab environment, something which will be looking something like this, and in that we will be covering up all the practicals. So basically during that particular session, the configuration part and lab development part, right? I will be explaining you guys that which all tools we need to install, how to install those particular VMs, which type of VMs we will be requiring as a part of threat hunting, those specific things.
So we will also be installing those VMs on our side, or you will only
Correct.
show that to us? Like,
No, no. So basically, like during the sessions, I will be showing you how exactly that particular process can be completed. Similar type of artifacts, right? If we are doing some kind of network hunting, or if we are doing some kind of threat intelligence, right? So say similar kind of artifacts, I will be sharing with you guys as a part of assignment, and you have to complete those assignments in your environment. Okay. And later point of time, we will be reviewing, and we will be, in case if there are any queries, doubts, right? We will be resolving that particular things during our sessions, and after that we will be able to go forward and go to our next topic. Okay, so
Okay.
overall basically in your environment also all these particular tools, sets and VMs, everything will be installed, and you will be having those artifacts which I will be sharing after every session, and you have to practice on that one as well. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Yes, so yep. So any doubts, any queries till now, guys?
No.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so basically, at that point of time, what exactly we will be doing is we will be collecting the indicators or IOCs which we can tell, right? So for those who basically like what exactly is indicators or IOCs, let us have a very basic definition of indicators. Basically, indicators are those specific type of identifiers which can tell that that particular system has been compromised. For example, this is my system, right? And my system has been already compromised by one of the malware. Okay, now there will be a person who will be going forward, and there will be like they will be identifying like what all are the things, or what all are the specific processes, or what all are the specific things which that particular my system has been doing, right? Whether it is correcting connecting to some of the C2C server, or whether it is connecting to some of the server, whether it is going forward and sharing some type of network packets,
Okay.
likewise.
Yeah, yeah, actually, I do have one question, right? So, sometime what I used to is that we have a malware infected machine. So, what are the steps SOC engineer or what step a threat hunter can take to means to protect that means asset in the particular organization? So, that is my question is.
Correct, correct. So let us like complete that particular part, and later on I will come to your doubt, and we will so like we will address your query as well. Okay. So basically, yeah. So when it comes to that particular thing, so basically when it comes to that particular indicators, what exactly are indicators? Indicators are those specific identifiers which can tell, or which can tell us that okay, that particular system has been compromised. Something like if my system has been compromised by some of the malware. Okay, so at that point of time, normally what will happen is so at that point of time, normally what will happen is basically there will be few of those specific unique things which my system will be doing, or which that particular malware will be doing. Something like creating a temporary file. Okay, sharing some type of details, or basically sharing some specific type of request to some of the server. Okay, some of the IP address which that particular malware is trying to connect. Okay, some of the user agent strings. So all of those specific unique things which that malware is doing in our particular system, okay, can be considered as a IOCs, or indicator of compromise. Now this was just an example of a malware attack. There might be some kind of phishing attack, there might be some type of vulnerability exploitation attack. For every attack, there will be a specific list of, or basically specific indicators which can tell us that basically that particular system has been compromised. Now, for example, in my system, I have found that basically there is one of the malware which has been executed, or one of the malware which is currently in process. So at that point of time, whatever are the unique activities which I can find, something like if it is connecting to one of the server, that particular IP address of the server is unique, right? Any other malwares will not be going ahead and sharing the same data to the same server. If it is the same malware, then it might be doing that, right? So that type of unique things are called indicators. Now, if I find the same IP address in other systems, okay, which are something like of my office system, or which is something like my other particular systems, right, which I am having at my home. So at that point of time, basically we can confirm that as that particular system is having the similar type of things as this system, definitely that particular system has been already compromised by the same malware itself, right? Same fundamentals we are going to apply in this particular place as well, where we will be covering up our threat intelligence. Now back to that question, that whenever we are finding that okay, there is some kind of a system which has been infected by a specific machine, so at that point of time, what exactly are the steps which we can do as a threat hunter? Okay, normally when it comes to the process, okay, basically the process will be starting from SOAK. Okay, basically the SOAK team will be the one who will be identifying that there is this particular machine where it will the SOAK person will be getting the alert based on the registries, network, or basically the system memory, the specific type of files or folders, or there will be some kind of unusual user related activities, right? So at that point of time, whenever we'll be able to get those specific alerts in our SIEM tool. Okay, so whenever basically if we are getting those specific things as a part of threat hunter, okay, we will be collecting, or we will be using our automation tools. Okay, basically there will be the automated tools, something like there is VMware, there is hybrid analysis, there is any dot run. Those specific things will be there where they will be able to collect the indicators, and we can use their same indicators in our particular machine, and basically we will be able to go forward and we will be able to scan for other systems. But at that point of time, if we want to remove, or if we want to remove that particular infection, normally exactly it will not come under threat hunting process, okay, or as a part of threat hunter. Normally it will not be coming up as a threat hunter. There will be a separate team who will be incident responder. They will be the main person who will be able to, or who will be whose process will be to go to the specific place where the breach has been happened, and they will be having the six main steps where they will be able to go forward and take the dumps of that system. They will be able to go forward and remove that system from the network. They will be able to isolate the system. They will be able to go forward and clean those specific processes from that particular system, and then they will go forward and add the other backup files, and they will reinstall that particular system in the network. Okay, as a part of threat hunter, normally we will not be having those specific process. Our main work will be to identify the threats and basically go forward and check for that's the same threats if they are available in other clients or other systems or not. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, right? Yep. So basically, that will be our first process which we will be understanding. So basically, the first process will be to go forward and get our threat intelligence. Normally, we will be using multiple tools here. Okay, we will be using a paid tool which is Threat Quotient. We will also be using a open source tool which is MISP, and we'll be understanding how we can integrate multiple sources which will be sharing us the threat, or basically the indicators. Now there will be loads and loads of sources, something like Alien Vault is there, okay, Threat Connect is there, or basically there will be loads and loads of platforms where threat researchers will be uploading the latest IOCs for any of the attack which they are going forward and investigating. Now at that point of time, with every attack, what will happen is there will be loads and loads of indicators which will be available at that point of time. Now at that thing, the main thing is if we are going forward and manually importing or manually adding one by one each and every indicator, that might be from the lakhs or that might be from the crores. Okay, basically for each and every threat there will be loads and loads of indicators which will be available. So the main process for threat intelligence which we are going to follow is basically the first place which will be doing is will be integrating our particular threat intelligence tool, which can be anything. Okay, either it will be MISP, it will be a threat quotient. We'll be understanding how can we integrate the multiple platforms which are sharing those specific threats at that point of time. Next step will be to understand and identify and filter the threats based on our client's organization. Something like whenever there is some kind of attack which has been happened at that point of time, whenever there is any kind of attack which has been happened in some of the other industry. Okay, something like if there is one of the industry which is majorly focused on the transactions or payment part. Okay, and there is one, our client is majorly focused on e-commerce business, right? So at that point of time, normally if we are getting those indicators of other particular industry, definitely that will not be much more useful for us, right? So at that point of time, we will be understanding how to filter out those specific details or how to filter out those specific things which will be sharing some specific type of threat at that point of time. Okay, which are not exactly useful for our clients. Okay, so basically we will be understanding how to filter out those specific details, and at last we'll be understanding how to share the same updated indicators with our particular endpoint tools. Okay, something like there is in case there is some kind of firewall, how can we export those specific things to firewall, how can we export the same things to some specific type of our SIEM tools, how can we export to some specific type of IDS or IPS. Okay, we will be understanding how to integrate those specific things and how to prepare one process where every time whenever there is a new breach which has been happened, normally we will be getting the latest indicators for that particular things. We will be able to filter it out the same things, and we will be able to share the same details with any of the other particular tools which can give us the alert that whether any other system or server has been compromised or not. Okay, so that is the main thing which we'll be able to understand. We will be creating a specific process. We'll be identifying, or basically we'll be identifying the latest threats which are available in the external organizations. Okay, and we will be able to identify whether any kind of similar type of threats has been attacking to our client's organization or not. So that will be the first phase of our threat hunting, normally to understand whether any kind of external threats has been available or not. The next thing will be to find out the internal threats which are within our client's organization, right? So at that point of time, normally there will be two main places where we can identify those specific threats. First one will be from network, and second one will be from the host or endpoint. Okay, so basically at that point of time, whenever we are having that particular network dumps, okay, so at that point of time we will be analyzing the network to find whether there is any kind of malicious things which are getting transmitted from the system to external network or not. We will be understanding the fundamentals of it, that what exactly are the techniques, what are the network devices, how devices work with each other, and how exactly the communication will be happening within the systems and servers.
So
Yes.
are we recording the session as well for our future references if we want?
Yes, the sessions will be recorded, and we will be sharing the recorded
Awesome.
sessions as well. Okay.
Thank you, Keval.
And Keval, for the practical session, can we get all the links in the chat
Yeah, yeah,
whenever our class starts so
correct.
that
Yeah,
we
we will
can
be.
download the things? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So during the class, actually, I will be training you guys, right? So at that point of time, I will, like, after the session, I will be sharing it with you so that later on, after the session, you guys can practice it with the proper knowledge, right? During the class, if you are going forward and if you are parallelly working, right? So at that point of time, there might be
That
many
will be
points which
difficult to understand. Yes.
correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So basically,
Got it.
after
Thank
every
you.
session, we will be sharing you the resources, something like the PPTs, PDFs, and the artifacts which you can practice it later on. And after the session, you will be going forward and practicing on the same.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. So basically, the second phase will be finding the internal threats. So during the internal threats, we will be going through the two main sub processes. First one will be finding the threats which are from the network, and second one will be from the host or endpoint. So at that point of time, we will be having the fundamentals where we'll be understanding what are the network devices, concepts, and how exactly everything will be communicating with each other. And after that, we'll be having understanding on a specific type of protocols, what are the protocols, how exactly we'll be able to hunt for those specific malicious activities. And after that, we will be understanding how to take the network dumps and how to analyze the same. Okay, for taking the network dump, we will be using the tools which can be TCP dump, Wireshark. Those specific tools are there. Snort is one of the other tool. We are going to go forward and take that particular dumps. We will be analyzing the same similar type of threats, that whether any kind of malicious activity which has been happened or not. And after that, we'll be building the same type of rules in Snort, so that later point of time, if any kind of similar type of things has been happened, normally we will be able to get an alert, and we will, that Snort will be able to reject or basically remove that particular request, okay, from that particular place, and basically we will be getting a specific alert at that point of time as well.
I have one
Okay.
question.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes,
So
Vijay.
when we are saying threat hunting, so will it be only about doing the analysis after the attacker has done his thing, right? Or it
Mm-hmm.
will also be kind of a preventive measure, means whether it comes under the scope of a threat hunter to do some kind of a preventive action also, or it will come under the content team who is developing some kind of a rules for the different tools.
Correct.
I'm just trying to
Correct.
understand the scope of a
Correct.
threat hunter perspective.
Great, great, great. So that was a good question. Normally, majorly, the threat hunter, whenever we will be having the process, majorly it will be the preventive measures itself. We will be identifying the threats previously, and basically, based on that, we will be going forward, and we will be building up that particular defensive
Keval,
systems. Okay.
Keval, one question here. So we are
Yes.
been talking about the threat hunting. So what is the main difference between the threat hunting and the bug hunter? Because the words
Okay.
words
Correct,
bit,
correct. That is.
bits are matching sometimes, but yeah, I need to know the differences first of all.
Sure, sure, sure. We will. So let us complete the previous one, and then we will go forward with this question as well. Yes, so basically, when it comes to threat hunting, definitely, like mostly our work will be as a preventive measure. It will be a part of blue team, right? So basically, mostly our work will be to go forward and identify the threats prior to the attack, and after that, building those specific type of rules, so that whenever that type of attack is going to happen, or basically it is on the go, normally we'll be getting that particular alerts. Okay, so similar type of things, even if you see in the network analysis, we'll be taking the network terms, we will be going forward, and we will be hunting for specific threats, and the same thing we will be building in the snort as well, so that whenever there is any kind of a threat which is trying to get into that particular systems, okay, with that network, definitely we will be able to get a prior intimation from that particular place. Okay, so basically, majorly, like, it will be prior, so when it comes to the scope of threat hunting, it will be before the attack. Okay, after the attack, the incident response team will come, and they will be the one who will be taking over all of those stuffs. Normally, after the attack, we don't have any work. Okay, basically, we will be just taking their reports, we will be using their reports to our particular threat intelligence database, and we'll be using the same database in the rest of the systems. Yes, so next question was, what exactly is the difference between threat hunting and bug hunting? Right? Threat hunting majorly focuses on that particular place. I hope you guys are able to see my screen, right? Because I can see it is blank screen. So let me reshare my screen. So till now you guys were able to see my screen, right? Or it was
Yes.
blank itself. Okay. Yeah.
You were able to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So basically, the main difference between threat hunting and bug hunting is basically, when it comes to threat hunting, normally identifying the threats which can be in the network, which can be in the system, server, endpoint, or any of the places. Okay, basically, if we are finding that particular threats, and if we are going forward, and if we are building a specific mechanism, okay, to block that particular attack on the first place, that is majorly covered up as a part of threat hunting. When it comes to bug hunting, the scope of bug hunting will be specific only. Okay, in threat hunting, we are covering all those specific things. We are covering assets, we are covering critical assets, we are trying to safeguard those specific things. When it comes to bug hunting, the main scope of bug hunting will be to identify the vulnerabilities in the applications. Now, that application can be web application, that application can be mobile, Android, iOS, or web application, or API application, or thick client application. Okay, but the scope of that particular bug hunter will be for a specific application which he is trying to find a loophole from. Okay, once he finds the loophole, he can report it, and his work will be done. But when it comes to as a threat hunter, normally threat hunter's work cannot be done if he finds one threat. Okay, we have to constantly look for new things. We have to constantly look whether any of the other particular organizations, or whether any particular other has been compromised or not. And at that point of time, we have to build that defense mechanism. Okay. Now it is
I
clear,
would like
right?
to also ask you one thing that basically I know still there is about half 35, 25 minutes to go. But I just wanted to ask
Yes,
that is there any certification oriented program for means are we looking at some threat hunting based certification to be
correct.
completed by this or this is just a threat hunting knowledge means threat hunting related course which will build our expertise in threat hunting but not related to any particular one certificate course certificate exam.
Correct. Correct. So there is one certificate which is ELAN Security Threat Hunting Professional, right? So if you compare that certificate course module with this one, you will be finding almost everything is the same itself. So basically, after this particular sessions, you can go ahead and you can attend that particular exam, and basically you will be able to crack the same.
So,
Okay.
Keval, the syllabus is same, like you said,
Correct.
for agency threat hunting professionals, right? That's
Correct. Correct.
but
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
And one more question from my side, like, are
Mhm.
we getting, all the network threats like that, or just the overview of all those?
No, no, nothing will be an overview. Everything
Okay.
will be on the practical basis itself, in depth itself.
So we'll be having compromised machine, like something like that, and we'll be
Correct. For the host based hunting, we will be having like we will be compromising the machine, and same thing we
okay.
will be checking in our SIEM tools and everything as well. For the network hunting, we'll be taking the network dumps. Something like whenever any compromised machine has been there, right? We will be taking the network dumps from that one. We will be using the same network dump in our lab environment to analyze the same.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so are we going to use any SIEM tool for that?
Yeah,
Or
we will be using Splunk tool.
okay.
Yes.
Keval, I have a question.
Yes.
Uh, uh, do we learning some basic forensics also?
Yeah, for forensics, we will be learning memory analysis, okay, and network dump analysis. So those two part will be from the forensics.
So, suppose, for example, during hunting process, so
Yes,
we found some host is compromised. So,
correct.
during that process, do we try to find what is compromised, and do we some basic like to see what is there in the host
Correct.
and all?
What are the processes which are compromised, right? Basically, what is the main process which is malicious? All of those specific things will be going forward and see. So that will be like we will be taking the network memory dump and we will be analyzing the same memory dump with use of our volatility tool, and basically we'll be learning how that particular process works. Basically, how exactly we'll be able to find the compromised process. Okay, and based on that we will be able to extract the malicious file or malicious document whatever it is, and we'll be able to use the same thing.
Keval, I would like to know what will be the timings of the course. I think I had a discussion with Manish prior to this call,
Mhm.
and he
Mhm.
said that in the training part, that thing will be cleared. What will be the timing and all. So, can
Correct.
you
Sure.
tell that information now? I want to actually leave this session
Sure.
because
Sure.
I have some work to do. So, I just
Sure.
wanted to
Sure.
know if you can
So
share that
timings
information.
will be it will be from weekend. So basically it will be on Saturday and Sunday. It will be from 7 to 9 p.m. IST.
Okay, is that the only time range or will there be any other? Because I have a CISSP course at the same time actually.
Mhm.
So wanted to
Okay.
know if there is any other timing which I
For
can join.
this particular month, this is the one timing which we are having.
Okay. So for it will be on weekend, right? So it will be
It will
completed
be
in a month, right? 4 to 5 weeks.
correct. It will be 4 to 5 weeks. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Keval.
It will be how much hour class?
It will be 7 to 9. It will be 2 hours per session.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay, all right.
So any doubts, queries, questions for me, guys, till now?
No, 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 Keval. Nothing from my side. Thank you.
Sure.
So
So
so you don't plan to have any other timing, right? That is the time fixed timing that
this is the
you
fixed
have one
timing,
batch.
correct? Correct, correct, correct. So
All
for
right.
this month, this is the fixed timing. For next month, we will be having other timings.
Sorry, I couldn't hear properly. Each session will be 2 hours long,
Correct. Yes.
and both Saturday and Sunday,
Correct.
one session will be imparted. So 4 hours in a week, and
Correct.
as such, there will be 4 to 5 weeks.
Correct.
So around 20 hours, 16 to 20 hours total.
Yeah, almost that much will be there. So basically, like our time will be not a specific like time constraint. Normally, it will be based on the topics, right? So basically, if there is one topic which has been, which is a larger topic and it takes much more time, so basically at that point of time we can extend the session. Otherwise, if the topic has been completed early, we'll be able to like our timings will be flexible. Okay, but it will be starting on Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. IST.
7 to 9.
Yeah, 9:30 likewise. Basically it like based on the topic we will be having that particular timings, but almost you can consider it 7 to 9 itself.
And Keval, if somehow somebody misses the session, then in that case we'll be getting the recording session, right?
Correct, yeah, after every
Okay.
session within 1 or 2 days you'll be able to get the recorded session
Okay.
of that particular session.
Okay.
Yes, so yeah, so let's jump back. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So let's jump back to our previous part. So basically, this is what we will be having as a part of our process in network hunting. We will be taking the network dumps. We will be going forward and we will be analyzing the network dumps with Wireshark or Network Miner tool, and we'll be developing those specific defense mechanisms in Snort so that if there is similar kind of attack, normally we will be able to go forward and we'll be able to deny that particular attack on the first place itself. Okay, even though we will be able to get an intimation or alert for of that particular attack on at that point of time itself whenever the attack has been in progress. Next thing will be our host based or endpoint hunting. So at that point of time, we will be understanding the fundamentals. Okay, we'll be understanding basically what exactly are the system processes, what are the indicators which we can collect. We will be going forward and we will be analyzing the same things. If there is any kind of compromise which has been happened, if there is any kind of privilege escalation which has been happened, if there is any kind of malware attack which has been happened, normally we'll be understanding how to find those specific things based on our SIEM tools as well. So here we are going to use Splunk, but normally if you are using any other tools, like the fundamentals will be same. Okay, if your organization is using it, there might be a possibility where your organization might be using some of the other different tools, but at that point of time the fundamentals will be same. I will be sharing you guys the similar type whatever we are going to develop in Splunk, right? So basically there will be similar type of commands which can be useful for other particular SIEM tools as well, right? So if there is some kind of QRadar, normally you will be having the same type of things, but you will be having a different set of commands, right? So basically I will be sharing the same things with for the other SIEM tools as well, and you will be able to work on the SIEM. So basically this will be our overall process. Okay, any doubts, any queries in the syllabus part, anyone?
Carol, I would
Yes.
like to ask you one thing here.
Yes. Yes.
As you mentioned that there is a SNOT rule, also you're gonna teach us
Correct.
like how to build, right? So
Correct.
how would be the environment like? Will you be able to deploy a SNOT environment? Then you will be showing us the rules of how to I mean like write, or else it will be just an overview like how we supposed to write a rule for like without doing any practical stuff.
Also, it will be again, so same thing will be practical based. We will be understanding how to install this node, how to configure this node, how to get an alerts from this node. After that, we will understand how to write the node rules. Okay, based on if there is any specific type of network dump which we have gotten from any of the analysis, how to use the indicators or basically how to use that particular process to and implement the same thing in our node so that we can later on develop our own snort rules. Okay, so that particular process will be there.
Okay, got it. So second thing is like you have mentioned as well ELK, correct? Splunk and
Mhm.
ELK. So in
Correct.
ELK, are you going to install specific module, or else the similar there is an operating system which is known as Security Onion, which is also having the ELK features and the Snort, both the thing and like both together, right? So can we
Correct.
use that one, or else we'll use the specific VM, I mean like whatever you will be suggesting.
Yes, so there is a VM which will be having all the ALK modules which will be installed. We will be installing the same particular VM, and we will be running in the same thing, like in that particular VM itself.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yes, so basically, yeah, so this was our course module. Okay, so any doubts, any queries, anything in this same thing? Anyone?
No, I don't think so. There will be any issue or doubt with this particularly thing. But however, when we'll be starting this one, right? So on that
Correct.
time, might be people will be getting more doubts and clarification required
Correct.
on that time.
So it will
Okay.
start from
Yes.
Sunday, right?
Yes, it will be from this Sunday. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Yes, Gaurav.
I want to know, will we covering some part of malware analysis as well at the back?
Not, yeah. So basically, not a full part because
Okay.
malware analysis itself is a bigger course, right? So basically,
Hmm.
as a part of threat hunter, normally we will be having a specific type of automation where we can share that particular sample to one of or basically some of the modules, and basically they will be giving us those specific indicators. We will be having an overall view of the malware analysis, right? So basically, how to complete the static analysis and how to get an overall indicator. So that particular thing we
Okay.
will be covering here.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, so basically, how exactly we are going to learn each and everything. Okay, so basically, whenever we will be starting up with our sessions, the first thing will be we will be going forward, and I will be explaining you guys that how exactly we will be having our particular lab environment setup. Okay, what all are the tools which we can require? How exactly we'll be able to install those tools? Okay, those specific things we will be learning at a first phase. Next phase will be like for each and every sessions. Okay, you guys will be getting the recorded sessions. You guys will be getting the PPTs, PDFs, and any kind of reference material which will be having. And parallelly with that, I will be sharing you guys for every session 2 to 3 of those specific type of artifacts. For example, if we are doing this type of um, uh, the threat intelligence. So at that point of time, there will be some kind of report which we will be getting, right? So we have to add that particular indicators from the report, or if there will be multiple platforms which we have to integrate. So basically, so those type of artifacts which I will be sharing it with you guys. So at that point of time, you guys will be having a hands-on practice on those specific assignments. And in the next session, if you guys are having any kind of doubts, queries, or if you guys are getting some kind of errors or anything like that, definitely, like the first thing which we will be doing is to address those specific queries, and later point of time we'll be starting up with our new topic. Okay, so basically this is how our main scenario will be, like how I have explained you guys everything. Okay, similar type of scenario will be there. We will be joining via Google Meet or Zoom or any of those specific things, whatever we are deciding at that point of time. I will be sharing my screen. I will be going through that particular topics. I will be giving you a in-depth knowledge on that particular practicals, how exactly each and everything can be done. And later point of time we will be sharing you the resources and the assignments, okay, so that you guys can practice on your own. For example, if we are having some kind of threat intelligence, normally what exactly is the process of threat intelligence? The main process or the main objective behind threat intelligence is to understand what all are the threats outside the organization, collect the indicators from those specific attacks, and use that particular indicators in our client system, so that any kind of event or any kind of things are happening, normally we will be able to get that particular intimation prior to that attack itself, right? So here there are few of the feeds, and basically I am taking those specific feeds. Okay, there are multiple of the feeds which are available, and what we are doing is we are collecting those specific type of indicators from all of those specific threat platforms. And basically at that point of time normally we are getting that particular details. So basically now what like how exactly it will be looking up now. Normally whenever there is all the details which has been collected, normally it will be looking something like this. If we are going through specific event, normally we will be able to get those specific things. Something like here you can see there are multiple of the indicators which is here. There are few of the hashes, there are few of the files. Okay, basically there are a few of the file names. These all things will be collected as an indicator. What we are going to do is we will be filtering out based on our particular client's business, and if after that we will be sharing the same thing to the other endpoint tools as well. Okay, something like if there is seam tool, basically if there is any kind of other tool, normally we will be able to share and we will be able to get that particular alerts into specific tools.
So,
Okay.
so, so the
Yes.
ca- so the main means the advantage of doing it is that just try to collect the IOC and get it blocked on the endpoint level, right? I'm correct.
Correct. Yes, yeah. So basically, get it collecting more and more information, which can help us to go forward and get that particular attacks scenarios, and basically, and at that point of time, going forward and building that particular type of systems where we can get either intimation or getting blocked, or basically we will be getting blocked that particular things at that point of time. Okay.
We can also do the feeding in from the NISP to other SIEM console where it can be like other network
Correct.
appliances, and we can
Correct.
block it automatically, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. So basically, yeah. So there are multiple SIEM tools which are currently available. Even the Splunk Enterprise Security is there, QRadar is there. They are having this type of functionality, but majorly, like whenever we are integrating those or we are directly taking up that those specific SIEM tools to get, okay, there are few of the limitations. Like we will not be able to get all the threat hunting platforms. There are few of the APIs, or basically there are few of the things where it might throw some kind of error. Okay, and second thing is it will be difficult for us if we are going forward and if we are trying to filter out at that point of time. Okay, so if there are loads, like whenever we are taking all the feeds, there will be loads and loads of data which will be collected, right? So in that scenario, if we are filtering out, definitely it will be bit more harder for us to filter in direct the SIEM tool. But basically if we are having this kind of third party tool, definitely it will be a upper hand for us. Second thing is this particular functionality is limited to some of the SIEM tools, right? If you see ELK, if you see there are other some open source SIEM tools, definitely like there will be there will not be like this type of functionality which can be available out of the box, right? So at that point of time, in case if our clients or if our organization is using those type of SIEM tools, definitely we have to build this type of process so that we can get that particular details. So that is why normally we will be collecting this type of information, and we will be sharing the same things to other places as well. So a similar type of thing, we will be able to get that particular details. We'll be able to go forward, and we will be, so basically here we will be having the mitre, or basically the attract metrics. We will be able to get and build up the correlation graph, okay, based on the ATP which we are currently investigating. For example, if there is this particular type of ATP, normally it will be connected with the something like, oh, the that particular open source intelligence. There will be multiple of those specific indicators. We'll be understanding all of those things. Will be going forward, and we will be collecting, will be filtering out whatever are not necessary for our particular clients, and then we will be trying to share the same thing with that particular tools as well, so that we can get that particular information. Yeah, so basically this is how we will be learning each and everything. This was just a one part, but during the sessions we'll be learning rest of the things. Okay, so in the meanwhile, do you guys have any questions, queries, anything related to threat hunting, malware analysis, or basically anything? If you guys have questions, queries, you guys can shoot. I will be happy to address that one as well. Anyone? So I hope everyone is clear with the process and the threat hunting part, like what exactly we are going to learn, how exactly we will be learning, what are the timings, everything.
Uh,
Yes, Anurag.
one question,
Yes,
Kevin.
yes.
So this is mostly we will be learning proactively how we'll be protecting protecting, right? So after attack is happening, so
Mhm.
there's no scope for threat hunting, right?
Yeah, so that will be a part of incident response. So basically, once the attack has been happened, its incident response team will go there. They will be having all the containment and all those specific process, right? And they will be sharing the report with us. Okay, so once they have gotten all of those specific things, normally they will be sharing their report. Either malware analyst is there or incident response team is there. They will be sharing the report with us. Once their process is completed, we can use the report and we can build up our threat intelligence database. But till then, we will not be having that scope.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
Thanks.
welcome.
Hi, Kevin.
Yes, yes, Nishant.
Yeah, let's suppose we have been taking the fix through the taxi or sticks format, and let's suppose our
Correct,
C solution is not supporting taxi or sticks. So we need to
correct,
convert it into the CSV format or whatever the
correct,
format, Excel or
correct,
PDF. So
correct.
can we do that also by using scripting or something?
Yeah, we will be having. So there are a few of the open source scripts. So basically, we will be using those specific scripts, and we
So
will be able to.
so
Will be
we'll
able
be
to.
using that script from where? Through the Geek or somewhere else?
Yes, yes, yes. So in Git, like there are few of the things, like few of the scripts which we can use. So personally, I have used also during my project. So that I have faced the similar type of challenges as you said. So basically, there are few of the scripts which had been useful for me in past. Normally, it will be able to convert all the things, and we will be able to get the same details and share the same things.
Okay, okay. All will be shared in the process, right? In
Correct,
the
correct. Yeah.
classes.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Welcome. There is one more question. How after completion, how it will be helpful in the interview? So basically, in the interview, normally like after every session, right? In the resources which I will be sharing it with you guys. Okay, there will be at last there will be a section of the interview questions which can be asked in that particular session. Okay, something like today we are learning threat intelligence. What are the questions which can be asked in as a part of threat intelligence in the interview, right? So all of those specific questions after every session I will be sharing it with you guys, which can be helpful for your interview process. Next thing is training timings. So training timings will be fixed. So basically, it will be every weekends. It will be starting from 7 o'clock. Mostly, you can see basically it will be ending by 9 or 9:30, something like that. But it will be every weekends on Saturday and Sunday, and from starting from the 7 o'clock. Yep. Any other doubts, queries, questions? Anything for me, guys?
Only one question.
Yes, Krishna.
We have a lot of syllabus there, and completely are going on practical things.
Correct.
I just had a doubt of can we complete these things within 20 hours, or it might exceed, right?
It might exceed. Okay, so this is not like hard and fast that basically this timings will only be there, or 4 to 5 weeks will only be there. If there is something where we will require some more sessions or something like that, definitely like it will be extended. So
Okay,
likewise.
thanks. And as you have said, we'll be taking some public ATPs, whichever available in the internet, and
Correct.
we'll be solving our assignments with those things, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, okay. And the correlation map which you showed, we can do that on our own after solving those ATPs, right? I mean,
Correct.
some threat analysis.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Sure. So yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
last one thing. So, there is one more thing called TTPs, which I
Mm-hmm.
have been faced in my interviews. So, we'll be
Correct.
discussing about that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
depending upon each ATP and their matrices.
Correct. Yeah, it is there. It is there. It is in the first few modules itself. We will be learning that.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Then.
Yes. Welcome. Yes, Yubham. Yes. So, any doubts, queries, questions, anything for me, guys?
Nothing, Kevin. It was
Nothing.
nice.
Nothing.
It's clear and thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Great. So now basically that was it from my side, guys. Okay. Basically it was great to have you. Now your next step will be to contact management. They will be the one who will be guiding you for further procedures to join our session. Once I get the confirmation, we will start our sessions as well.
Sure.
Okay. Bye everyone.
Thank you, Keval. It was nice meeting you.
Welcome.
Okay, for your time.
Welcome. Bye.
Thanks, Keval.
Welcome.